Let me go ahead and give a quick rundown of Final Resolution. I did get to watch the whole thing. It took me a couple of days. Cedric Alexander on the pre-show. It looks like he's in now. It looks like I don't know if he's signed, but he's winning a lot of matches and he's on every show. So Cedric Alexander defeated Eric Young on the pre-show. And then the system. So JDC is retiring and they're trying to pick his replacement. So the system called out, did an open challenge, and they were answered by Bear Bronson and Brock and CW Anderson. And they pinned Brock Anderson to get the victory there. So that's where I was like, Brock Anderson now look good. Main card, Mike Santana defeated Charlie Dempsey by pinfall. This Charlie Dempsey kid gets a rough time. He's really good. I don't know. I know that people don't like his dad because apparently he hurt Tony Khan's feelings, but like Charlie Dempsey's really fucking good. I don't know why people bag on this kid.
I think probably just because he seems to get a lot of opportunities to go around places, which is good because once he gets on the main roster, Kenny gonna get booked. He's not big. How's his personality? Last time I saw him, he didn't have a ton of it.
You know what? I just watched the match since I haven't seen any of his promos, so I couldn't speak to his personality. So
I can't. I don't know.
I don't watch NXT, but he's been in TNA twice, and I've enjoyed him twice. So
I saw him the last couple times I saw him in Noah. I quite enjoyed his work, so I think he's pretty good. I don't know. People get mad about they pick their favorite billionaire to protect.
Yeah. Look, I mean, like Regal's a bad guy because he got out of his AEW deal to go back and work for his friend, right? I don't know. Like he's friends with Triple H for 30 years. I don't know what's he supposed to do. I don't know. The Inspiration defeated Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford. Victoria Crawford's Alicia Fox, right? It's a tag team created so that way people stop chanting "You're a racist" at Tessa, and that's me being nice, okay? But that's why they're doing it. So anyway, they lost. Robert Stone now. Robbie E is now their manager. So there you go. Matt Cardona defeated Mance Warner in a street fight. It was actually a pretty good match. I like Mance Warner. I've always liked Mance Warner.
Me too.
It was there was no blood, but it was like it was a really fun match. The only bad part was the commentary.
Matt Cardona and Mance Warner wrestle with no blood. That's like shocking to me.
Yeah. Well, TNA only does blood on special occasions, so they put a moratorium on blood usage because they're trying to get sponsors. And so they did like 3 blood matches in a row last year. And Steve Macklin, like you can't give a Marine a razor blade and expect him not to fuck himself up. Like that's just common knowledge.
I do remember that Macklin match. That was the pictures afterwards was crazy.
And he was bleeding a gusher. And so Carlos Silva was like, guys, we're taking a break on blood. So they took a break over the summer, and then they brought Mike Santana was bleeding a gusher at Bound for Glory. So they'll do it for the big shows. So and then we get to Channing Stacks Lorenzo with one Lexus King as his manager, defeated Steve Macklin by pinfall to win the TNA International Championship.
Channing Lorenzo is the worst fucking name. And it sounds so bullshit. Channing Lorenzo as an Italian American. Yeah. I ain't never met a paisan with the name of Channing.
No, I think they're trying to invoke the name of Channing Tatum, the guy from the movies with Jonah Hill. What are they called?
21 Jump Street.
Yeah, 21. I think Channing, but they still want him to be like a paisan, so they gave him the last name Lorenzo. So
Channing Lorenzo is the worst fucking Italian name I've ever heard in my life. My Italian grandmother is rolling in her grave, and she was Irish.
Yeah. So here, let's get to this. This obviously Steve Macklin losing the title is an abomination. But what I will say is I understand the story that they're telling. And the story plays out over the weekend. I did read the spoilers, and I'm not going to give the spoilers away. But once the story plays out, like it ends up making sense, right? And they've been connecting the dots back in NXT with some matches that he was able to get there. And the commentary during the match dropped Easter eggs, like as they're starting to come to the epiphany of what is happening within the story. So after it plays out on TV, I'll go ahead and explain it. I get the story. It's a mid-card title. Steve Macklin should never lose because that's my guy, especially to a fucking nerd like Channing Tatum. But I understand Channing Lorenzo, yeah. But I got the story that they're trying to tell. And TNA also, let's see. NXT won't let TNA get a clean sweep, I guess. Yeah. So TNA won every other match that was against NXT that night, and so they threw them a bone. So there you go. But it's part of a bigger overall story, and I think Stax is coming to TNA once he gets fired. Anyway, him and his fiance. His fiance is Santino's daughter. Santino's daughter is also on the show, and it's kind of like the liaison between NXT. And she's been a babyface, but there's been some questionable things happening since her fiance is a heel on TNA television. So we'll we'll leave it at that. But it's a part of an overall story. So there you go. Knockouts champion Lei Ying Lee defeated Zaya Brookside by pinfall. I thought that was pretty good. Match of the weekend. I think I didn't watch Collision, but I think this could compete with anything that was on Ring of Honor, to be honest with you. It was the Rascals, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, Myron Reed, and Desmond Xavier defeating the Order 4, which is Mustafa Ali, John Skyler, Jason Hotch, and Special Agent Zero in a 4-on-4 match, and it was fucking awesome. it was fantastic.
I'm not watching. So who's Special Agent Zero?
He's just this big jacked up dude from Canada named Bill Collier. He's like shredded, bro. He's like 6'4" and shredded. And come to find out, he's 45 fucking years old.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, but this is his first chance on television, and he's killing it. He looked great in that match.
Good for him.
Yeah. I'm happy for the guy. I was like, where did you guys find this guy? How come he hasn't been on TV for 20 years?
That's Bill Collier. Name's really familiar, actually. I don't know why.
Yeah, EPW said Bill Collier, he wrestles in my area. Like, okay, why didn't you tell me about him sooner? Like, why am I just now finding out this guy rules?
Cool.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. This so during the match, like at the end of the match, Mustafa Ali left his team hanging because he was chicken shit.
Yeah.
And he was confronted by Elijah, who was riding a horse. He lassoed Mustafa Ali, tied him up, and then drug him out of the arena on horseback, like by his legs, like old school like style. And I'll be honest, like the match had a billion different pops from all the big high flying moves they did. At one point, Myron Reed did a flying diamond cutter off the top rope onto the people waiting down on the floor.
I saw that. It looked good.
Yeah, it was great. There's tons of pops. The biggest pop of the night was Mustafa Ali getting lassoed, getting hogtied, and drug out of the arena on horseback by Elijah. So there you go. But that's pro wrestling, I guess. And then the Hardys had a pretty bad match with High Rise, Tyson DuPont, and Tyreek Igwe. It was like, if you watch it without the sound on, it's terrible. But if you watch it with the sound up, the crowd's still going apeshit for it. So I guess it's not that bad. But the Hardys won, and then they were immediately confronted by the Righteous, who got a chance of who are you, but they'll find out soon enough. In another really good match, Leon Slater defeated AJ Francis with a Rich Swann by pinfall to retain the TNA X Division title. Story of this match, Leon Slater's selling the whole time because AJ Francis is a big monster. At one point, AJ Francis was trying to get Rich Swann to cheat. Rich Swann refused to cheat, so he shoved Rich Swann down. And then the referee grabbed AJ Francis, and AJ got in her face. She's a female referee. Started bullying her. There's a YouTube kid that also wrestles. He beat the shit out of the YouTube kid. And so he's bullying everybody out there. And then at one point, AJ is telling Rich Swann to hit Leon Slater with the belt. And the referee was like, if you hit Leon Slater, he's gonna get disqualified. And then Rich Swann just kind of looks at the referee, gives her the nod, and then she does this thing. She covers her eyes with her hands, turns her back, and then Rich Swann fucking clocked AJ Francis. And then Leon Slater hit his 450 Swanton finish for the victory. So there you go. But it was a pretty good match with some shenanigans, obviously.
Yeah.
And then main events, Frankie Kazarian defeated JDC. Not a very good match. Shenanigans, but he beat him with the crossface chicken wing. All right, so that was Final Resolution, everybody. An okay show, some good matches, some pretty bad matches. So if you want to go out of your way to check that out, feel free. But that was the last TNA Plus special of the pre-AMC era. So going to be big on January 15th. TNA comes to AMC. The only downside, JD, is they're moving to 9 p.m. So 9 to 11, which means
that's late.
Yeah, I'm not staying up to do podcasts at 11 p.m. That's just not going to happen. But I will do it on the first one, but I'm not doing it again after that. I just can't. I can't do it. I get up at 5 in the morning. I just can't do that shit. So we'll figure out a different schedule for Brace for Impact. But JD, you got any parting words of wisdom for the audience?
Hold your horses on this Netflix WB thing. We got a long way to go to figuring out what's going to happen. Pro wrestling is so unimportant to this whole thing.
Yeah,
we need to kind of relax.
Yeah, and again, to all of my haters out there, especially the haters who are going to be hating on me for wearing this Carlos Silva trucker hat, more specifically, the bosses at Voices of Wrestling who are going to find out about this and make fun of me and probably talk shit. I'm not going to like tell them I did this, but like if they listen, they'll find out. No, I'm sure one of the snitches in the Discord will tell them. But because
snitches,
they both hate this hat so much, and I was like, okay. I always said that if they got a TV deal, I'd buy the Carlos Silva trucker hat, and then they did it. I was like, fuck. So I checked, and TNAmerch.com, you can use PayPal. And I was like, well, I still have money from the podcast, so I bought it.
Wow, you use podcast money on that. Well, I guess it is a prop. So
well, I didn't want to tell my wife that I was buying a TNA trucker hat.
I completely understand. I would.
So if I use a credit card, she's like, what's TNAmerch.com? I had to have to explain it. It's not tits and ass merch. It's just wrestling merch, you know?
Yeah. So. Still not a great name company, but the word, as we've talked about, the words TNA don't quite mean what they used to.
Yeah. You and I are the only ones that think that. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us this time. And until next time, mahalo. I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Competition starting to get thick. It's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. A made no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This isn't A game. Better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick. It's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. A made no rain.
That was a fun show.